and this is What Effie Reads. It's almost a new month, which means it's time to play my TBR game. For those that I don't know, I pick my TBR based on a Let's Play of a Pokemon game. At the moment I'm playing Pokemon Sword. For each Pokemon that I encounter there are prompts linked to the Pokemon type, and from there I build my TBR. This month's TBR is going to be a little bit different. I'm still going to pick 8 books, but actually I've got a hand injury, which means that I'm not really able to read physical books at the moment. So I'm going to try and, where possible, for each prompt pick a physical book, but also pick an ebook or an audiobook. So I've got options. I don't know how it's going to go, but that's the plan anyway. So let's start off by doing a random number generator to see at what point in my game I will start counting the encounters. This month's game was 28 minutes and 49 seconds long, so I'm going to pop the numbers 1 and 28 into my random number generator, generate a number. Okay, so I'm going to start counting the encounters from 10 minutes into the game. So let's see what my first encounter was. Oh, it's an Electrike. Fabulous. The first Pokemon that I encountered was an Electrike, and I'm fairly sure that's just an electric type. However, I will words are failing me. I will check it. I will check what type it is before I pick a book. So an Electrike is just an electric type, and for an electric type I need to pick a romance. So as far as physical books go, I think I'm going to pick the Elite. I think it's book 2 in the selection. I'm hoping I actually get to read that, because I read the selection in July and actually quite enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to it if I get onto it. And I'm just going to have a look through my Kindle and see what romances there are. I will have a look at my owned library first, and then I can always have a look on Kindle Unlimited, because we all know how much of a selection there is on Kindle Unlimited for romances. If I end up reading an ebook for this prompt, I'm going to read The Emperor of Evening Stars, which is book 2.5 in the Bargainer series by Laura Thalassa. I'm kind of about this series. I really enjoyed the first book. There's a lot of it's ACOTAR fan fiction kind of feel to it, but I enjoyed the first one, and then book 2 just wasn't really, it wasn't what I was hoping it'd be, so I didn't love it. So I don't know what I'm going to think about the rest of the series, but I know it is really well loved, so hopefully, I don't know, I guess I'll see if I end up reading that. And let's see what my next encounter was. It's another Electrike. Oh dear, this could be a romance heavy month. As you saw, I encountered another Electrike, which we already know is a romance. So I guess variations on a theme. If I'm able to read physical books and I manage to read the Elite, I will then read the next book in the series, which I believe is the One. I'm assuming these are the wrong way round. Usually the the other way. But I'm assuming the one is the next book in the series. Okay, can you tell I'm really quite eager to read the rest of this series? And again, I'll have to look on my Kindle and see what I've got. So romance really isn't my genre. I'm looking through my Kindle and going, nothing's screaming to me. So I'm going to have a look on my wish list. I have a private wish list of Kindle Unlimited books. I think I'm going to go with Caroline's Heart, which I will have to look up the author. The author is S.A. Chant, but yeah, Caroline's Heart by S.A. Chant. And I guess I'll see what the next one is. I hope it's something other than a romance, because it isn't my genre. But then the joy of having a TBR game is it pushes me to read books I wouldn't necessarily otherwise reach for, especially things that I don't think of as being my genre. And it's a Meowth, specifically an Galean Meowth. The next Pokemon was a region-specific Meowth. Let me just look up what type of Pokemon it is. Oh, would help if I spelt Meowth correctly. From what I can tell, it's a steel type, but I could be wrong. I'm a little bit confused about the type. Yeah, so as far as I can tell, the Galarian form of the Meowth, which is the one that I encountered, is a steel type. Please don't shout at me, Pokemon fans, if I've gotten this wrong. But like, also do correct me and show me where I can find like correct information, because this is like what I could find, but obviously it could be wrong. I don't know. So for a steel type, let me see. Right, so for a steel type, I need to read a thriller. I don't know if I've got much in the way of thrillers on my shelf. Picking out a physical book and like a ebook or an audiobook is turning out to be surprisingly hard. For my physical book, I've gone for I See You by Claire McIntosh. I've had this book for a long time. This is an author I really want to read from, and for some reason haven't gotten around to yet. And I think for the ebook option, I'm going to go with The Minders by John Mars. Again, it's a book that I've had for some time, just haven't gotten around to reading, so either way I win with this one, because they're both books that are kind of on my backlist that I've been meaning to read. So we'll see what my fourth encounter was. And once again, I've encountered a Meowth, which means I've got to pick out another thriller. This is a really weird month I'm having, it would seem. I'm sure I've got other thrillers on my Kindle, so I'll figure that out in a sec. But I know what I'm going to pick for my physical thriller, because it was one that I contemplated picking last time. If I end up reading a physical book for this prompt, I'm going to read The Rumour by Leslie Cara. I can't remember why I chose to pick this up, possibly because it's got sprayed edges, and I am obsessed with sprayed edges. Stenciled edges, you know, if it's got pretty edges, I'm probably going to want to pick it up. But I don't know what's on my Kindle, so let's have a look. Maybe actually I'll have a look on my Kindle Unlimited wish list and see if there's something that tickles me. Okay, so for my Kindle pick, if I choose to read on my Kindle, I'm going to choose Killing a Dead Man by Siobhan Hodges. I don't know what I'm going to think about it, but it's intriguing. The the book trailer for it is different. So that's another option. And it has got, like, it's only got 11 ratings on Amazon, but it's got overall a 5-star. I think every rating is a 5-star, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it doesn't have a single rating that isn't a 5-star, so hopefully that bodes well. So I'll see what my 5th encounter is now. It's a cutie fly! So this Pokemon is one that I don't think I'd encountered before, and I was desperate to catch. I have a feeling it's a bug, which means the bug part might come out. That also means that I'm not going to be able to kind of do an alternative, because obviously whatever book comes out of the bug part, that's the book I've got to read. But I mean, maybe it won't be a bug type. No, it is a bug. It's a bug fairy type, which means that I'm possibly going to have to read 2 books, because a fairy grade is a middle grade book. However, I don't think I've got any middle grade books in the bug part. So let me grab it. So this is the first time that I've had to pick a book out of the bug part. So what we've got is this book part, and inside we have lucky stars, and on the reverse of each of these lucky stars is a book. So whichever one is listed on it, I have to read, and it's basically as simple as that. So I have picked out this lucky star, and I haven't had to undo any of them yet, so I don't know how this is going to go. I've completely obliterated it, but I did see the title. So these are primarily books that intimidate me, but there's also books that I just have been putting off for too long, so I've kind of ripped it. But can you see? Is it going to focus? Is it going to focus? You can just about see that says Wool by Hugh Howey. So, where is it? Right. So it is this book. It could be worse. I could have gotten War and Peace, but this is definitely a longer book. It is 563 pages long, and because it's not also a middle grade, I also need to add a middle grade to my TBR. So no matter what happens, my TBR is going to be at least 9 books long this month. Fabulous. So I'm going to add Ramesa onto my TBR. It was on my July one, but you know, I didn't manage to read it because of my hand, and I am not going to put an ebook on. So if I fail this month, it is just going to be my own hubris for not adding an ebook onto my list for this prompt. And I think we're on to number 6. Ooh, it looks like my Metapod's evolving. How exciting. I'm going to say that the next Pokemon encounter was an evolution. So we had my Metapod evolve into a Butterfree, which is a bug flying type. Another bug. So for my for flying, it is a Moodreed. So I think what I'm going to do is, like I did last month with my Moodreed, is I'm going to pick 2 options, and it's going to be one of those 2. So I'm going to pick 2 lucky stars out of the bug part, which I've just put a bookmark back in. So I'm going to pick 2 lucky stars out of here, and It'll be whichever one I choose to read during the course of the month. Oh dear. Right, that was a lucky star fell out. I think it was one of my earlier ones because it's kind of like crushed up and not perfect. But hopefully it means I can find the end easier. Oh, there we go. Right. Let's see what we've got. Watching You by Arnie Dahl. Okay. That could be a dinner because that is a book that I am very on the fence about, but at least I will have read it. I'm not quite sure where I've put that book. Let's see what the other one is. Right. Let's see. It's probably going to be upside down after all this. And it is. The Vampire something. What is it? The Vampire Oh no. The Vampire Archives. It's like an 80-hour audiobook. Oh, well, that's my choices. A book that I'm possibly going to DNF or an 80-hour audiobook. Interesting. I think we're up to 7 now. Well, I mean, 8 if you count the fact I've got to read 2 books for one prompt. But on to the 7th and penultimate book encounter, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I think I am being challenged to a battle. Yes, I've been challenged to a battle by Poke Kid Mia. Okay, and it's an Eevee. The next Pokemon was an Eevee, which I believe Eevees are normal types, but they're also special in my TBR game. Because Eevees can evolve into so many different Pokemons, an Eevee is a wild card, so I get to pick any book that I want to read. And again, I will do it like twice, so I will do a I will pick a physical book off my shelves that I want to read, and I will also pick an ebook. Actually, for my physical book, I'm going to pick the Bookish Besties Buddy Read for August, which is going to be The Dead and the Dark by Courtney Gould. It doesn't come out until I think it's the start of August, so I don't have it physically in my hands, but that is that option. And then for the ebook, I'm going to pick A Corruption of Blood by Ambrose Parry, which comes out in the middle of next month. However, I do have an ARC and I'm really excited. I love the Raven, Fisher and Simpson series. It's so good. So I'm really excited to read it. So chances are I'll probably read both of these books, but as long as I read one, I succeed at my TBR. And now for the final encounter. Let's see what Pokemon I have. Hopefully it's nothing too bad, but I mean, this has been a really mixed bag of a game today. Is that a Pumpkaboo? That's a Pumpkaboo. The next Pokemon that I encountered is a Pumpkaboo. I have a feeling it's a ghost, but it might be a dual type. So I'm just going to double check it. It's a very cute Pokemon. Yes, it is a ghost grass type, which could be an interesting one. So for a ghost type, I think it's a spooky book. Yeah, so for ghost, it's a book with spooky vibes, and a grass type is under 250 pages. So this could possibly be my hardest one so far, because it needs to have spooky vibes. Like, doesn't have to be horror, just kind of vaguely spooky vibes. But it also has to be under 250 pages, or I could add another book and have 10 books on my TBR. So I'm just going to have a look at my bookshelves and also on my Kindle / Kindle Unlimited and get back to you. It's kind of difficult to pick a book that has spooky vibes until you've actually read it. So these are going to be books that I get the impression that it's going to have spooky vibes from like what little I know. And it was kind of tricky to pick a book that is under 250 pages and also has spooky vibes. So for a physical book, I've gone for The Ocean at the End of the Lane, which I don't know much about, but I've also been told to kind of go in knowing as little as you can, really. I think it's got spooky vibes. I don't know. And then for an ebook, I have had a look, and Gem and the Holograms, The Misfits, is available on Kindle Unlimited, and it's only like 125 pages. So I'm going to put that as my ebook alternative. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure where my copy of Watching You is. I have a horrible feeling I have actually put it in the unhaul pile, which are just behind the camera. So they're still in here. They just aren't on my shelves at the moment. So this is my TBR, plus Watching You when I find my copy. And also The Dead in the Dark. But in August, I also need to read We Go On Forever for the Burn Books Club, because, you know, I love a dystopia. And also for the Queer Picture Book Club, there's Boys Run Riot. I think that's all the other books I need to read. I've probably got some arcs that I've forgotten about, but I'll try and read them. So let me know what you think of the books that I've picked out. Do you think this game went well? I am unsure, to be honest. And until next time, bye.